Good evening, everybody, and happy Tuesday. It's time for another Tuesday Tidbits. I enjoy getting together with everybody and talking about what's happening, what we've been doing, and answering some of your questions. And today I actually see that we have 4 questions so far. Now, as you're watching the video, if you come up with a question, you go ahead and write it down and let me know, and we'll try and ask it while we're still going live. So, what was I doing this past weekend? This weekend, we actually celebrated our youngest, Pickle. If you've been on my Facebook or seen my Robbie's Rascals or anything else, you've heard me talk about Pickle a lot. She's our 13-year-old. Well, actually, she's now our 13-year-old. We celebrated her birthday. She entered the teenage years. So, luckily, I was already bald, and my hair won't be being pulled out over the next 6 or 7 years as the teenage era gets on us. But it's going to be a fun time already, I'm sure. Now, writing-wise, what have I been doing? Taming Carla is at the editors for that final round of edits. We'll be getting that back real soon and getting that ready. We showed you the cover for that last week. So Always Amy's also, which is the 3rd book in the series, has actually already started the first draft phase. So that's going to be good. Shards of Sass, the book that I've been talking to you about that I'm doing for Millie Taden's Kindle World, Sassy Ever After, that has come back from the beta readers, and I've started the revision process on that. So that's exciting. So far, everybody's tweaked it just a little bit, but they love the storyline. So I'm excited to get that into everybody's hands. Which leaves Under the Wrapping, our final story of the year, which will be released on Cyber Monday. It's almost finished with the first draft phase. I have like 1 chapter left to write. I've already did the first revision on the first 17 chapters, which helped me figure out how to end the book. So it's been fun. Now, the big news this week is next Tuesday. We probably will not have a Tuesday Tidbits next Tuesday. I will be laid up. But it's the release day for Behind the Mask. Now, if you've been paying attention, you know that you can get it on Amazon for 99 cents right now as a pre-order, and that'll put it on your Kindle as soon as it comes in. However, this is the cover. Go look for it. However, October 3rd, it will be released and go live, and everybody can get it. Now's the time to get it because it's only 99 cents. October 3rd, it'll be $2.99, so get it now while you can. But the reviews I've been getting from this as we sent out the ARC copies to everybody has been fantastic. They love the story. Now, for those who aren't familiar with Behind the Mask and where it came from, if you remember, come Halloween 2 years ago, told the story of Kelly Kinsberg and Derek Cranston. Now, Kelly had lost her husband 2 years prior, but she found a witch who could bring him back on the anniversary of his death every year, which just happened to be Halloween night. Of course, there was Derek, who she was starting to fall for, and it was a matter of whether she could let go of the past long enough to grab a hold of the future or not. So, Come Halloween is already out. It's the prelude to this. It's a companion book. They're not sequels. They each have their own story, but they do overlap a little bit. The conversations between the sisters are the same in both books. So that brings us to Behind the Mask. If for those who have read it, Emma Rochester, Kelly's younger sister and Wilder's sister, had struggled coming into this world. She was a premature baby, and because of that, she thought she wanted to live every moment of every day to the best of her ability and to the fulfillment of every wish or fantasy she ever had. Now, Emma, because of this, they thought that that it was because she had to fight to live in the beginning that she finally had to, that she has her wild side. So Behind the Mask is her story. We learned that there's a party on Halloween night where people throw out all their inhibitions and they just go for whatever they can do behind the protection of the mask, which keeps their identity hidden. However, the couple weeks leading up to this Halloween night, she winds up having her own dilemma when she starts finding about this guy, Jacob, who's crushing on her at work, which is against one of her rules as well, but she's willing to break that rule, we think, towards the end of the book. So you'll have to find out. Behind the Mask, 99 cents. Newsletters are going to be going out. Go to my website. Sign up for that newsletter. You'll get all kinds of information and special deals about it. Terry, I'm excited about the release Behind the Mask as well. Robbie, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Gary, can't wait to see you at Indie Book Fest this weekend. Which brings us back around to where I'm going to be this weekend. Starting Thursday night until Sunday morning, we will be in Altamont, Orlando at the Westin with the Indie Book Fest. A couple of ladies, Mandy Stevens and Tawdra Candle, put on a fantastic event. I'll be sitting on a couple of panels, moderating one. We're going to have some dinners, some games, some parties, and then from 3 to 6 on Saturday at the Westin is a free book signing. So if you're in the Altamont, Orlando area, or you're within driving distance, I would hope that you would come and see us. There's going to be a ton of authors there of different genres and mixes and everything else, so you're bound to find something that you enjoy. Come to my table, say hello, mention you saw this video, and I'll see if I can't come up with something special for you, okay? Now, this Wednesday at Books and Chat, my Robbie's Rascals, you've heard me talk about it every week, we're actually having the guest Linda Carlson from the Lucky 13 bloggers is taking over to tell us all about Lucky 13 and everything that they can do for us. It's going to be a great time. Melanie, hi to you. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. So now, let's get to our questions. Marie asks, does writing, oh, we already asked that one last week, does writing energize or exhaust you? It does both. I think I remember somebody asking this last week during the show. It gets me tired, really, but it's fantastic because the stories energize me. I get excited and pumped. And then by the end of the day, when I finished writing, I'm wiped out. You can ask the girls. I'm tired and I just want to sit down and relax and zone out in front of the TV, which we just finished watching Stitchers, which kind of made us sad because season 3 ended with a cliffhanger and they're not having a season 4, which really frustrates me. What panels am I going to be on, Robbie? I'm moderating, good question. I'm moderating one on craft, I believe, and I am sitting on one, 2 I think. One, what every reader thinks erotic author should know about an erotic author, and I think the other one is how to balance my writing with my everyday life and not get lost in the mix. Sarah Rush, hi to you. Thanks for joining us. Now, Lisa asks, what is my writing kryptonite? By that, I guess she means the thing that drives me crazy or weakens me or everything else. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure. I too many ideas. I have a bad habit of going crazy from one storyline to the next storyline and getting excited about something so that I put what I need to work on to the side. So rabbit trails, I guess you would say. The excitement of the new story is my kryptonite. Case in point, we're looking at it today. I'm actually working on 10 manuscripts from 8 different series, 2 of the brand new series that we're working on putting out this year. So that's a lot to have your hands on at one time and keep straight. So that would be my kryptonite, staying organized and not caught up in new ideas. Taylor Ann asked, what was the best money I ever spent as a writer? The best money I ever spent as a writer is my little Samsung tablet. It's a little small thing. Actually, I don't think I even spent money on it. I think it was given to me as a gift for my 50th birthday from the girls. But it is what I do everything on. I keep it with me. I take it everywhere. As a matter of fact, half the time, if you see me at Disney, it's going to be with me as well. And I'll sit down at a coffee shop and I'll tap out a few words and get those down. So those are a lot of fun. So that's the best I've ever done. There's a lot of free programs and everything else that you could get. I use Scrivener and Word combined. But the best money I think I ever spent was that tablet. I just love it. I do it in the car, hotels. It's light. It's mobile. It charges and lasts a long time, and I can have everything on it. My weakness, though, is to make sure I don't have the internet on it, so that Facebook and stuff doesn't pop up with me all the time. Terry Wilson, will there be another novelette to go with the ones Green is the Grass and Second Light? And Waiting Room was the third one. I have not thought about writing sequels to those. Those actually started out as short stories 10 years ago. I brought them forward, polished them off, expanded them, and put them out as quick summer reads to explore different avenues of my writing. Each one is different than any of my romances or my urban fantasy. They're more slice of life, inner turmoil and struggle, character-driven, and motivation. They're a lot of fun. As of right now, I don't have any stories to follow those up. If you mean, will I write stories short like those? I have several in mind. I've got one called Memories Ashes that follows a bunch a group of 10 kids who grew up together in high school who come back several years later because one of them died, and it goes through all the struggles that they did over the past few years. So there are several like that that I've got working on. Joel Brown, who was the best boss you ever had? I'd have to say me right now. I do it all by myself, so it's great. Joel, I'm glad you're watching. I had a lot of fun at Papa John's. And I did notice from one of your Facebook posts that you still spend a lot of time in the bathroom, I noticed. So get off the phone. Terry asks, as a writer, what would you choose as your mascot, avatar, or spirit animal? I think that job would have to go to Bagheera. The cat is great. He's with me all the time. I love cats. If I could do something a little fun, I think it would be an otter, because I find myself to be in a playful mood half the time, and they're a lot of fun to be around. So the cat for one, otter would be the second. Actually, I was teasing around with the girls the other day when we were talking about shifters, and that I wanted to create a group of shifter otters just for comic relief, because I think it would be fun to do and to write about. So see if we got any other questions coming up here real quick, and then we'll call it a day. Nope, I think we're looking good. We're all caught up. Everybody, I want to thank you for watching this week's Tuesday Tidbits. Like I said, next week we will be missing one because I will be laid up. If you're in Orlando this weekend, 3 to 6, stop by the Westin, say hi to me, and we'd love to see you. Until then, thank you, and join us next week or 2 weeks for another Tuesday Tidbits. Okay? Have a great week.